Hi, welcome to another exciting episode of the Andre The Beast Crayton Show. Another exciting show and definitely another exciting guest. Today, we have a young girl who's definitely setting the world on fire on social media with being a self-published author. But there's a journey to how she got there. So let's talk about a young lady who was bullied, a young girl who was in a relationship and, believe it or not, was incarcerated wrongfully, might add, why trying to get help from law enforcement, and still was a victim by law enforcement in the legal system, and still came out with a purpose of being an advocate for children abuse and wrongful incarceration. Let's welcome to the show, Miss, I'm going to call her the Genie, Joniqua. Okay.
Thank you.
How are we doing, baby girl?
I'm blessed and highly favored.
All right, I like the way you said that. So, Memphis, Tennessee, 27 years old, self-published author. But before we get to that, let's talk about your journey in and out of abuse. When did this, tell me a little bit about you before we get into that. Tell the viewers a little bit about who you are.
Okay, like he said, I'm Joniqua The Genie, or I go by Genie Joniqua. I'm a self-published children's book author. I'm a child advocate. I'm a youth mentor. I have a passion for children and helping people in general. So that's who I am.
Now, at 27 years old, you talked about being abused as a child and stuff. When did all this take place, and who was the perpetrators, and how did all this pan out?
Family, my mother, my father, my older siblings. I'm the youngest girl of 6 children, so I was the scapegoat and the easy target in the family because I was so young and I was the smallest at that time.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when it started for as long as I can remember. My first uh experience, or that my earliest memory of child abuse, was watching my mother and father have sex in front of me like I wasn't even there. So it gets deep, it's layered, it's a lot.
How old were you when they was doing this?
4.
Okay, right in front of you, and that's kind of crazy because you're 27 years old and you still remember that. I don't think that's something I want to remember about my parents. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. And it's a lot of stuff I don't want to remember, but that's why I say be careful how you treat children, because you never know what would stand out to them from their childhood. Be careful. You don't know what they'll remember.
so you remember them being intimate. I'm gonna call it intimate. And then what were some of the others? What were some of the physical and mental things that really took a toll on you?
So when I was 5, I was molested by one of my older brothers. My father beat on my mother in front of me too, a lot. And he went to beat on every woman after her in front of me as well, from since I could remember. So that took a toll on me. That's how I ended up in an abusive relationship as a young adult, because this was all I knew. My older siblings, they would gang up on me and beat up on me. I had 4 older siblings. Sometimes I would fight them all in one day. It's just picking on me, taking out their frustrations. And my mother had 6 children by 5 different men. I had the only present father. The rest of their fathers were absent. And so they envied me for that. And because my father was also abusive, they took that out on me. So they envied me for having a dad that was there. And then they bullied me for having a dad that was abusive. And so they took that all out on me when my mother and father divorced. So I was the scapegoat.
Is this Mr. Barber?
So that's not his real name. Like I said, I've told you that, like, kind of off thing. That's supposed to be my last name, and I'm not going to say any names too, because there's an ongoing case as well. But yeah,
Okay.
It's my biological father we're talking about.
So was your biological father abusive as well?
Yes. So he was abusive to my mother and my siblings. And when my mother and my father divorced, my siblings and my mother took that out on me as if I was him, from when I was like 6 or 7 years old. They was mistreating me as if I was my father.
So the animosity, let me see, can I make sure I put this in perspective for the listeners? Your mother had intimate relationships with multiple men, 5 or 6, multiple men, all different men. So each one of those kids have a different father?
Yes. So
You know
6
that's
children.
crazy, right?
Yeah. It's insane. Yeah.
What's the age difference between you guys?
Some of us are stair steppers. I mean, it's gonna take some time. So, some 2, some 4, some 1 year after, some like 1 year.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's insane. It caused a lot of dysfunction.
So let me go back a little bit with this dysfunction. Um, why do you think you're 27 years old now? You had a lot to process.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think made your mother do this? Was she insecure? Was she trying to put food on the table? Was she dating different men, having kids to get child support? I mean, there's always an end game, whether it was
I feel like
loneliness, a bad. Go ahead.
because her father wasn't there, because she was searching for love in a place where she should have gotten it, but she didn't. So she was searching for love in all the wrong places, as the old folks would say, and that she didn't value herself,
Mm-hmm.
and so that's what led to it. Sadly, yeah.
Wow.
I don't think she needed to put food on the table. I don't think it was child support. I think it was constant seeking validation. And when you don't give your child that attention, especially a father, that's why fathers are needed in the household.
Mm-hmm.
When you don't give your daughter that attention, she look elsewhere for it.
Did you know him? He was your grandfather. Did you know him?
Yeah, I know my grandfather.
And I'm pretty sure was he aware of what was going on in your house with his daughter, your mom, his?
Yeah, but no, it's like it's kind of one of those sweep things under the rug. We're not gonna confront abuse. Some in a lot of black households, the hard conversations never happen. And if you do have the conversations, you get treated like me. And I was iced out. I was isolated. When I started to speak out against some of this type of stuff, I was iced out. It's taboo. We don't talk about it. We just act like everything perfect.
Let's go deeper. This was norm for you.
Mm-hmm.
You
Born
didn't.
into it.
You didn't know any different. How did that transaction affect going into school? How was you academically?
So I performed. I had straight A's. I played all sports because I'm trying to seek validation from my parents. Again, I was abused by my parents. So I thought the smarter I was, the more talented I was, they would treat me better.
Yeah.
It didn't work. They would treat me better in front of other people, but behind closed doors, I still got the same treatment. So I was super involved in school to also get away from the house.
Did the faculty realize what you was going through? Because this is what usually happens. You got a school nurse. In certain cases, you have a school psychologist. And you're right. Usually in the community, those things don't tell. That's perceived a certain way outside the house. And when you come in, it's a different ball game. But you're still, some of that stuff shows when you go back to school, when you're with your friends. Nobody ever approached you about this situation that was happening?
There were certain instances, like when I first started speaking out like how I am now, I had women that kept me in daycare that called me and said, "Girl, I remember when you used to come to daycare with a bloody nose, with a busted lip, and I saw how your mama used to handle you, and I felt like there was a spirit of jealousy." And she said they started to report my mom, and when they started to put reports on my mom pulled all of us out of daycare. There were instances where some of my other siblings ran away. And even my father, he was prosecuted. He was prosecuted because he's abusive. So he sexually abused my older siblings. One of my older siblings ran away and told on him. He got put in jail. My mother forced her to lie to law enforcement and say nothing ever happened. So there were some times where people tried to step in, but nothing really got done because we were manipulated to protect abusers.
So when he got arrested,
they
had to basically release him. Did he stay in jail long?
I was a itty bitty baby, so I was like 5. He probably stayed in jail a couple of days. My mother told my sister to tell the police that she was lying so he could get out of jail. So yeah.
Okay, so let's get into you, individual. You get tired of this stuff, and the people. You know what I think is so funny? It's kind of like you had to see the stuff you guys were going through. So all your siblings basically lied to protect and allow this to keep going on, even though they ran away? Because seem like CSI, I mean the child protection service, man, they them social workers, they get kind of deep into your personal, life. They can kind of sense if somebody's lying or protecting somebody. Do you mean they couldn't see nothing with your brothers and sisters?
Pretty sure they could. I come from a small town. People don't care. Sometimes people is just there for a check. Like some people won't go the extra mile. Okay, well, she say she lying. She say that she was lying. So a lot of people don't care. A lot of people sometimes get in these roles and they don't have a heart for it.
They ain't cut out for it.
Some people don't go that extra mile. They don't. Some do. Some don't. Unfortunately, we were failed. We were failed by our parents and some of the other people that had the power to take action but didn't follow through. And it's a lot too. It's a lot. It's heavy to get involved in this type of stuff too.
How did you manage to at least try to? I know you use sports as a coping mechanism and trying to stay away using grades. But did you ever find yourself becoming the bully as you was growing up? Because it's
Yes,
up as this
yes, I
teen,
did.
you got to take your frustrations out some kind of way.
So I was an angry teenager. I had a temper. My first boyfriend, I was not a good girlfriend to him. I apologized to him years ago, and I wasn't exactly. I started to catch myself behaving as my father and just becoming emotionally, verbally abusive. I'm being what I witnessed. This is all I knew. So when I was 16, I definitely was an angry teenager and angry in my early 20s, extremely angry.
When you know what, that's really big. I've interviewed a lot of people, and I've never heard one of them say what you said, that they went and confronted their actions with their ex and said, you know what, I'm sorry. When you approached him, how old were you and what was his reaction? Do you remember?
Because we were best friends. So I didn't start out like that. The second year of our relationship, he was like, he laughed. He said, girl, it's okay. And then, because I still was good to him too, but I still had abusive moments. I still was abusive and I hold myself accountable, but he was open and forgiving. And I apologized to his mother as well. And they were open and forgiving. I talked to him a little bit after that. We were best friends too. So yeah.
So
He accepted my apology.
well, they probably saw what you was going through and didn't know how to intervene, so to speak.
He knew that I came from a rough background. He did, but that's no excuse. That's why I apologized to him.
Let's talk about this wrongful incarceration. You becoming a victim once again of abuse. What attracted you to this guy first? This is why I'm asking this, because people that get involved in abusive relationships, and I can't give a full, situation analysis, but it seems like they don't do their work deep enough when they get into these relationships with these guys. Because if you're an abusive person, you will expose your hand long before the relationship gets serious. He never exposed any of this anger and stuff toward
Yes, he
you.
did. He definitely did. So what attracted me to him, he love bombed me at first. That's what we would call it. He came in, act like he was my knight in shining armor, did a lot of things for me. But then when I got comfortable, he switched. And so he definitely showed signs. That's why. So this is what I do. And it may sound bad to other people. That's how I began to break my curse and do what I'm doing now. I had to ask myself, how did I get here? Why did I stay? And that's when I started digging deep into my childhood and be like, okay, this was normal to me. I watched my father beat on every woman, including my mother, in front of me. He never apologized. He never said, baby girl, I'm wrong. You weren't supposed to see that. So this is normal to me. And so when he's showing plenty of signs, and he would literally act as if I'm making it up. He would gaslight me. He would make me doubt what I saw with my own eyes. He's showing plenty of signs. So that's why I call myself a survivor, not a victim, because at the end of the day, unfortunately, I did put myself in a situation. There were signs I could have ran, but if I had high self-esteem, confidence, and more self-love, I would have left. And that is what my book is about, teaching Black girls how to love themselves so they don't make the same mistakes I made. Because I didn't have nobody really teach me how to love me. Again, I grew up in abuse. I wasn't treated as I was the most valuable person in the room.
That seems kind of strange, because I have two daughters. I mean, I couldn't even imagine me putting my hands on a woman, period.
Right.
Even more so in front of my daughters. I might get angry,
Yeah.
and we learn how to. I'm not going to say that things don't happen; they shouldn't happen.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
when you have children and they're there, especially there's a difference between a daddy and a daughter. That love is priceless. I cannot see your father not looking at you and go, "This isn't what I want her to be put in."
Man.
Are you cool? Are
And
you close to your dad now?
no, I don't talk to any of my family. I am the black sheep, literally the black sheep.
And so, right to this day, at 27 years old, your dad still is acting. Well, you probably wouldn't know if you're not talking to him, but you kind of think he's still acting the same way he was acting then.
He didn't calm down because he got older, but he's still abusive. He's just abusive in a different way, and he still put his hands on. I heard about this man getting to fighting last year. He's still on that type of stuff. He still is. Now I haven't seen it in a while, so I can't say what I've seen, but. And that's how we got to this point because I've gave them chances to apologize and you know what I'm saying? So, people like that, you don't understand because people have created this illusion of themselves as if they're perfect and as they're above apologizing, above correcting themselves. So the older you get, the sicker you get. You know how you hear the stories, you tell so many lies, you start to believe your own lies. And then what parents like to do, they try to rewrite your memory. Oh no, I didn't do that in front of you. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Because you don't want to face your own flaws. You see how I told you that I was once abusive as a teenager? Because I can face the ugliest parts of myself. That's how you begin to change.
Now, we heard about your mom's situation, needed validation and searching for love in all the wrong places. What was the situation with your biological dad?
I feel like he grew up in a lot. My dad comes from a family of 12. He don't talk, they don't, that generation, they don't like to talk about a lot of stuff they went through. I feel like he was abused, if I could guess too. I feel like he was. I feel like some things happened to him that he don't want to say. And so he just he treats people as if he was once treated. But I could tell what happened with my mom. My mom did not have a present father. That's why. My father, my granddad, his father was abusive. That's what it was. His father was abusive. So he's abusive. My grandfather, my late grandfather was abusive. Extremely. To his children and to our grandmother a little bit. He was very controlling,
And
very controlling.
And you wind up being attracted to the same
Type of
characteristics and flaws.
And I
So,
told my father that. I said, "You're the reason how I ended up with this man because he acts like you and I didn't know any better. And I had to see how did I get here." And I told my dad all the stuff I'm telling you, I told them this, all of this.
And nobody's taking accountability. They just listen.
No, they acting like I'm crazy. I'm insane. I'm just making all this up. Yeah.
So when did the abuse started to show with the guy that you wind up dating?
The abuse started to show about 5-6 months in.
Like what? What was some of the signs?
He would clench his fist when we were arguing. And I'd be like, "Are you tensing up? Like, why are you balling up your fist while we're arguing?" "I wasn't balling up my fist. I didn't do that." And making it seem like I'm just making this up. Stuff like that. He had muscles and stuff. So he would tense up. He would like he was arguing with a man on the street. Stuff like that. He would put his hands on me like if I'm trying to leave to de-escalate the situation, he would grab me and make me say. Then the grabs turned into punching. Then the punching turned into choking.
Wow.
Yeah.
When did you decide to make a stance for yourself? I mean, eventually you have to look around your surroundings and be like, you know what, this shit just isn't right.
That's exactly what the hell happened. I looked around my surroundings. I looked in the mirror and I couldn't even see myself. I didn't look the same. You could see the depression. You could see the sadness. And I just would look. I've always been a bright child. I've always been very smart. I started to lose my identity and I didn't fuck with that. And so I said, so I waited till he went to work and I acted like I was cleaning up. I really was packing my shit. And so when he went to work, by the time he got out working and got home, I was gone. I said, no, let me leave before I have kids by this man. And I make the same mistakes my mother did.
Damn.
And make an abusive man a father.
But
the last thing, yeah.
But did you have you have a lot of dysfunction. Like when you start to wake up and see what was going on, who could you really go to? I mean,
God, I didn't have anyone to go
abuse.
to.
Yeah, who do you want to go into?
I didn't have anyone to go to. So that's why I stayed for so long, because I didn't have anywhere else to go. And that's the point. People be like, why these women stay? Because most of the time, these men that's beating on these women, they know they don't have nowhere else to go. That's why they do that. They know they don't have a support system. So all I had was God. I literally left off the strength of God, and I trusted God to carry me where I needed to go.
Is this where
That's all I had.
Is this where the homeless came in?
No, I went back to my family, and when my family was picking with me and fucking with me, I left, and that's when I became homeless because I couldn't take it no more. I left one abusive home, went to another. I'm going back and forth from. I said, well, fuck it, I might as well be homeless. So yeah, that's where it came in.
How long were you homeless?
About 2 years.
What did you do? How did you survive?
I stayed with people that I barely knew, like female co-workers that I didn't know for a long time. I rented a room from this man, and that's how I ended up drugged. I put in there that I was drugged.
Yeah.
He drugged me because I wouldn't have sex with him. I stayed in group homes. The shelters were so packed I couldn't stay in the shelter. I slept in my car sometimes, and I worked 2 jobs and got my first apartment. And I'm sitting in my first apartment. I worked my ass off.
Here's a dude that drugged you.
Mm-hmm.
How'd you know you was drugged?
Because I was hallucinating, and because I never had a mental health problem. I never because I was really hallucinating out of it. And once I came back to my senses, because when you're drugged, you don't know you're drugged. And then I was able to reflect and seeing the timeline from when I stayed with him, and that's when I started acting like that. And then it was right after I rejected him for sex. That's when it happened to me.
So
also,
how did how did the drugs wind up getting introduced to you?
So it's a lot of things. So he has it to where I cannot eat upstairs, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I can't eat upstairs. So anytime that I had food and I couldn't finish it, I would put it in the refrigerator.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. I could not eat upstairs. I could not have my own refrigerator and lock it up and stuff. Then it was a lot of stuff that was happening around that time. He started bullying. On the lease, he could not go into my room without permission. He knew I didn't have nowhere else to go to. So he would go in my room without permission. He would go through my things. He would take my clothes out of the dryer and put them on the floor. And he started stomping around the house after I rejected him. He started to intimidate me. And then I was begging my mother to let me leave. And I told her I would pay her, I would work hard. And it got worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And then I was drugged.
Holy shit. Did you press charges?
I tried to. At the time I became homeless, it was too much. I couldn't pursue it legally because I'm trying to figure out where the hell I'm going to stay.
And then they probably would have said it's your word against his.
Probably.
Now,
I believe I still can, but just after, it's just a lot. It's a lot.
I am so glad that you are now back on track and have
thank you.
Basically your eyes have been open, and it's sad that you had to go through all this to get to where you're at. Let's go back a minute. Here's a guy that jumps on you. It's the same guy, and you call the police. This is the fucked up shit. You call the police and they lock you up.
I said that. I told somebody, I said, man, I called the police. They put me in jail. They started laughing. I said, shit, I can laugh now, man. Shit, yeah. So this is what happened. I'm fighting for custody over my niece. I fall out with my family for good this time. He knows that. I'm a go-getter. So I work. So he wanted some money. I sent him the money. He gets real jealous of me, of my drive. You can clearly see my drive. And so he started picking with me. Waited till I got in the tub to start arguing with me. When you're in the tub, you're what? You're naked. So he's fighting with me while I'm naked. He goes and puts my stuff in the garbage bag and tries to throw it out. He said, "You're gonna have to get the fuck out." And that's after I sent him the $300. After I got proof of all of this, I got videos of him putting my stuff in the trash saying, "You don't live here no more." I got a screenshot of me sending him the money. I have several other screenshots, and I showed the police all this shit. I got other pictures of how he been beating on me from the timeline showed, hey, he has a history of being abusive. Anyways, I called the police. I said, "Hey, this man is trying to throw me out. I can show you that I pay rent here. I receive mail here. And I think it's the law of state of Tennessee, you have 30 days before you can evict someone. Someone is living with you. They're legally a tenant." And so I called the police. After I called the police, That's when he put his hands on me. And I'm bleeding. I have videos of that too. The police get there. I explain everything to them just how I explained it to you. I showed them the screenshots of when I paid the rent. I showed them my mail. I showed them that, hey, I live here. They see the blood. I point to the blood on the carpet. There was a circle of blood, of my blood. He didn't have no bruises, no scratches. They immediately put the handcuffs on me first. I opened the door. I got blood on me. I opened the door. They put the handcuffs immediately on me first before I even. That's how they did me.
Okay. When they pulled him to the side, what they do to him?
Shit. I mean, he went to jail, but they ain't put no damn handcuffs on him. They put shit. Damn. I'm like, so you call the police, you automatically get arrested?
I'm not laughing at you. I just.
It's okay. Shit.
You know, you just be like, damn, you know. Like, okay, so you go in front of the judge. This is just our part. What did the judge say?
So the way, because he tried to say what I said, so it's my word versus his. Because now he's saying I'm violent and I got domestic violence or whatever. So what they did was they said it's not. I don't have nothing on my record. So they dismissed both of our cases. So the judge, it just was to sign over some shit, and you just had to show up in court, and then it gets off your record. Because I never had a run in with the law. So this is my first run in. So they'd be like, okay, you get out, you don't have no bail because you don't got no history of you know, criminal or whatever, criminal history. And so they just took it off my record. The judge didn't say shit. You just sign some shit and then it's over.
So this dude beat you up, and basically nobody does shit, but just say go back and do what? Go back and cohabitate again?
And you know what's so fucked up about that? As the police officer, because you know they got to take you to the hospital first before they take you to jail. He's telling everybody she didn't get beat up. She got to fighting with him, and she'll be right back with him. I never went back to that nigga after that. Never. I never seen.
Which dude is he talking about? You went back to?
The one that beat me up, the police officer.
Oh.
As he's taking me in,
yeah.
And everybody's asking me, the victim, what happened. He's speaking over me, saying he didn't beat on her. They got to fighting, and they're gonna be back together.
Why would he?
Because they're used to shit like that. Yeah. When the whole time I was literally a battered woman.
Why would he have any input in what the doctors are asking you? They're asking you, not him.
It's corrupt. Called corruption. And these people don't give a damn. They're not really here to protect and serve. Not all of them, but some of them.
When did you decide to walk away? Enough is enough.
Shit, then. Hell, why call the police? Yeah, I said I ain't never been back. And see, everybody just group you in with this, everybody else. I guess in Memphis, you know, I wasn't with that shit. First of all, I was trying to leave him any damn ways. I just was trying to save up my money, get the fuck on. He was getting jealous and put me out. He wanted me to struggle. He knew I didn't have nowhere to go. He beat me up.
Did he work?
That dude was fucking Ubering. If you call that a job, sure, it is a job, but that shit's supposed to be some. He didn't have nowhere to go. The nigga was Ubering and door dashing, and he probably still is. If we being real, let's keep it a buck.
As he reached out to you to come back home, baby, come back.
So, he's blocked. What he does is he stalked me before.
Really?
And I told the police that they didn't do shit. When we got out of jail, he egged my damn car. Got a video of that. It's right in front of his fucking apartment. Called the police. They tried to arrest me again. I'm coming to get my shit. My car is here. We're going to arrest you for trespassing. Can't make this shit up.
Is it the same cop that came to you?
Yes. you gonna be laughing. I'm glad I can laugh now. I was like, this shit is fun. I said, I'm gonna sue y'all ass.
So the same cop the same police officer shows back up because he calls the police to tell them that you coming to get your car?
Yeah, so I called the police when I saw he egged my car. And you got to remember, I lived there. So my credit card, my driver's license, my diploma, all my stuff is there. And so I called the police, and they said, we're going to arrest you for trespassing. I said, look at my damn car. They said, oh, okay. But they said, we can't write it for vandalism because it's not on the... Dude.
Remind me not to come to Memphis to live.
No, let me tell you what it is. It's the zip code. See, I called the police here, had a whole different type of reaction. I live in a nicer part of Memphis. It depends on which zip code you live in. If you
Ah,
live in Germantown, oh, they'll handle you differently. Carry your ass in South Memphis, you're gonna get your ass arrested. You can have damn a shot, you can have a bullet go through your, oh well, okay, it's retaliation. It depends on where your zip code is.
wow,
If
that's
you got money, if you stay in an area where the money is nice, you
mm,
have a whole different experience. How do I know? Because I called the police here, had a whole different experience. I had some sweet police officers, caring and all that shit, asking me how I felt.
wow. Now let's talk about something else. You're advocating for your family member.
Hmm.
Why are you advocating for her? Did you see yourself in her?
Yeah, I certainly did, but I also witnessed her abuse and neglect firsthand. Like I watched it happen. So I know what she goes through. And they are also the same people that abused her, that abused me. Of course I see myself in her. Of course I see myself in her. I'm also advocating for my goddaughter who's been abused and neglected as well.
Why is there so much abuse going on in your surroundings?
Generational curse.
Now, this is your niece, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So your family probably don't want you doing anything because you're gonna let the cat out of the bag, which may open up Pandora's box with some investigations.
Yeah, I already called CPS and the police on them.
Yeah, but remember, you in that zip code. Are they gonna do anything about it?
So I wasn't in the zip code when I called. And then at this time I was poor. And again, they don't care. So I mean, so I'm saving up the money to do something about it and get a real lawyer that's gonna do something about it. And it's gonna help me fight and get her.
So the parents, they haven't come to you and say, you know what, we do need to reevaluate ourselves.
I tried to do that with them. Like even after the stuff blew up, I still tried to no, because it's pride and ego. How dare you expose the truth? No, don't nobody like when the truth gets told, the ugly truth now.
Mhm.
Now the brother was in my comments, my brother, he was in my comments a couple of days ago threatening me.
I'm telling you what,
So he say stay dangerous. That means if I see you, I'm gonna shoot you in his language, in his lingo.
are you afraid?
No,
Why not?
because I serve a God that's real and a living God.
I just can't believe that even your own family members would stay.
And then you gotta understand, I know these people my whole life. My brother, he was my most aggressive abuser. He used to beat the shit out of me. He used to beat the shit out of me.
Does he have
So
does he have children?
yes, he has my niece. That's the father of my niece who I'm fighting for.
Wow.
Yeah. Hmm.
And it doesn't phase them at all to beat people. And how do you wake up every day and it don't affect you? I can't even justify any of it.
Generational curse. It's like that's all you know. So with me, it bothers the shit out of me. You know what I'm saying? But if
Yeah.
that's all you know and it's normal, they still in that curse. Maybe now they ass have changed because I done called the police and CPS and exposed the hell out of them. Now they changed, but it don't. What you do behind closed doors when nobody's watching, that says who you are. Not when the whole world is looking at your ass, you want to change. That's
Mm.
not genuine.
How'd you get the name Genie? Like Genie?
Oh Lord.
You know,
So
I was gonna go there.
so it's like a brand name. So genies they're in a bottle, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
they have to grant wishes.
Hmm.
So I was a people pleaser because I was always abused, manipulated, and I stepped out of the bottle when I exposed my family. Genie. I'm a genie out of the bottle. You can't control me no more.
Hmm.
You cannot abuse me no more. You cannot manipulate me anymore. And genies are smoke made from a fire. I'm a fiery woman. They also, if you look up stuff, they also are taller than the average human being. I'm tall for a woman. I'm damn near 5'10".
Yeah. Oh,
Genies, I've had big ears since I was a kid. I got picked on for my big ears. Genies have big ears. So it's a lot of stuff. So that's why I call myself Joniqua the Genie. But it all boils down to stepping out of the bottle and stop letting people control you.
Girl, you
And they say it's a dangerous thing when a genie is out of the bottle. That means things will never be the same again. So
yeah.
my family will never be the same again after I stepped out of the bottle and exposed that ass.
Damn. Now let's talk about. I'm scared of you, girl. I'm proud of you too. I mean, like, hey, you know, you're doing it up. So let's talk about this beautiful book. You know, your
Here you
self
go.
publishing. Tell me about this book, the name of it, and the purpose of it, and what you and the reason that you decided to create this beautiful book.
So the name of the book is called What Does the Mirror Show Me? Brown Girl World. And it's just basically written to empower and uplift Black girls, especially Black girls that have been bullied and abused. And it just basically, I'm telling myself this and my niece this. I wrote this when I was homeless, when I was fighting for my niece, right after I got out of jail, right after my whole world, just crashed and burned as a coping way. And I was
Mm-hmm.
telling myself this, and this is what I wish I could tell my niece after they separated us. And I realized that all Black girls could benefit from this. And it just teaches Black girls how to build themselves up when they go and live in a world that's going to try to tear them down.
You
And
know,
these are all the things that I wish I was told as a child.
yeah,
And so I'm telling other children this so they can be fed this young, so they can be prepared for when they go out there. This just teaches Black girls about integrity, about self-love, how to love yourself naturally, who you are, how to be strong, how to be grateful, and to pray. And remember that there is a God that hears you when you pray.
man. When
So
I was homeless, fighting for my daughter, I wasn't thinking about writing a book.
shit, that's all I had. I didn't have no money, and I did everything I could do. I called CPS and the police, so it's like, well, I could create, and that's how I coped too with writing. So I just wrote her a letter. That's all I had, and so now it became a book.
What are at least three of the most powerful parts of that book? You said it's about you. Now that you go back and do a self reflection when you read that, what are the three most uh, impactful moments that when you look at it, it literally brings a tear to your eye because that's your
So
whole
the
story.
Yeah, so the back of the book is actually a picture of the last time I saw her. This is her.
Mm,
And this is an illustration. So if you go on my page, it's a real picture that looks just like this of her going back into the door. That was the last time I saw her. Another most powerful part of the book is it's a drawing of me and her of a real picture. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna bring it up here.
mm-hmm,
So this is a real picture. That's me and her. That's her on my back. This is a real picture, and
mm,
somebody drew this for me. I'm actually getting emotional now. And then I wrote her a dedication page. I still to this day cannot read this without crying because it's like, we had a special bond, and that's evil because they know I was feeding her. I was telling her everything she needed to hear because they was breaking her. They were breaking her just like they tried to break me as a child. I was getting jumped. And now they're breaking her. It's a demonic spirit. I don't care what nobody says. Them generational curses, they are real. And they want this world to think that they perfect, but it's a lot of fucked up shit that goes on to children. And the most powerful thing, another thing, is that this little girl looking at herself. And so what I would do when I was a child, when I was getting, I was called black, ugly, and manly too as a child, my entire childhood.
mm.
I felt like a man. They like, you black, ugly, and manly just like your daddy. And so I would go into the mirror, hold my face, and be like, damn, I don't see ugliness. I don't see what they talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And I would talk to myself. I would be like, am I really ugly? And so I'm challenging little black girls to go do the same thing, but tell yourself something positive. So that's the most powerful
No,
thing
don't put
about
the book up. I really want to.
Oh,
I want you to read that piece. I want to know what it says. The world needs to know what you wrote.
you want me to read the whole book or the dedication
The
page? What you want me to
dedication
read?
page.
Oh, Lord, you trying to make me cry. Okay. So the dedication page, to my niece, the child that woke up my inner child, the person who reminded me that I still had magic inside of me after everyone tried to break me and steal it from me, the person that showed me I was a dancer, to the fairest in the land, girl, I'm still holding on for your call. We are going to be free and we are going to be fine. And one day I will be dancing with you again and your vision will be mine because we used to dance together. And when I was getting beat on and I left and I moved back in with my family, I was contemplating suicide. I
Mm,
never told her that.
mm,
And she wrote, she's gifted. Because when I was getting beat on, she was the only child that asked me, because I wasn't living there. I would come around there with wounds on my face. She'd be like, she was coming to me. She'd be like, Joniqua, are you safe?
Mm,
Are you safe? And I never told her this. None of my family asked me how I was doing. And then when I moved in, I was contemplating suicide because I'm leaving one abusive environment going into another. And these supposed to be the people that's supposed to care about me.
mm-hmm.
And I was thinking about killing myself one day. And she was waiting on her bus. I never told her anything. And she wrote me a letter. And she almost missed her school bus. And she gave me that letter. And she gave me this. And this says, and I still hold on to this. This is about maybe 2 years old, and it said she believed she could, so she did. And she wrote me a letter that said Joniqua was going to be okay.
Mm.
So she woke up my inner child. She woke up my drive. This whole brand started from me fighting for my niece. That's why I fight for every other child that I see.
Mm.
She woke me up because I suppressed who I was as a child, and I suppressed a lot of things. But when I saw her going through that, they reminded me of how the fuck they did me. And I said, I'll be damned if they do it to her.
How close are you with completing the mission to get her?
I think I'm close. I think I'm further than I was when I wrote that damn book. I tell you that much. And I'm only going forward.
What do you need from society to help? After people hear this, naturally it takes money to get lawyers and a legal team, but what else do you need people to do to help you make this mission? And people, you need to understand, everybody goes through these things, and if we don't start pulling together and walking in somebody else's shoes, we're never going to grow as society. This shit is going to keep on going and going and going. What do you need from us to do to support you?
Well, they are already supporting me. This is supporting me. But I say when you see a child that's getting abused, you do what the fuck you see me doing. That's what it's gonna take. Not just about it's because it's bigger than my niece, and it's bigger than my goddaughter, and it's bigger than me and my family.
Mm.
When you see a child, don't just say something, do something. And if you can't do something, then you say something. Maybe it takes pulling that child aside and say, listen, you don't deserve this. When you grow up to be big, forgive them and make sure you don't treat your kids like how they treat you. If you can do something, call CPS, call the police, record them, expose them. Because what happens is a lot of people, I'm pretty sure a lot of people knew what happened to me and knew what happened to her, but it's the mind my business. When a child is getting abused in front of you, they are making it your business.
Mm.
So that's what you could do for me. Do what I'm doing for other children. Because she's not the only one. And I wasn't the only one.
How often do you get a chance to see her or to go to her school to check on her? Because I'm pretty sure they don't want you around her.
I cannot go. So they treat people like me like the criminal. Because it's the same thing with my goddaughter. I tried to go to my goddaughter's school. They was trying to arrest me. They treat people like me like I'm the criminal.
Mm.
I get treated just like when I called the damn police when the nigga beat my ass. They treated me like I was a criminal.
Mm-hmm. Have you talked to the social workers where you live at now? You're in a different neighborhood, and explain to them what's going on. Sometimes you have to have outsiders to step in that can go into places that you can't go to observe.
So I don't know where I have other people that's helping me speak with my goddaughter, but my niece, I don't know where she's at anymore.
What do you mean by that?
So we're not from Memphis, so I don't know what school, what district, what area she's in. I don't know. I don't know how to have a middleman between me and my niece and connecting with her and talking to her if I don't know where she's at. Now, my goddaughter, I have a way of speaking to her from counselors and social workers, but not my niece.
Well, did you try going to the school that she last attended? They had to say where her school records went to.
No, I cannot.
Because you're not the parent, so they can't give you that information.
And like I said, they literally tried to arrest me for my goddaughter. I don't want to say every time, but they protect abusers. That's what it seems like. It's crazy. It's crazy.
You know, my hat's off to you. I mean, you definitely have gone through a lot and still going through it, and it's going to be better. It's going to.
I think so too. Thank you.
It's going to get better. Trust me, it's going to get better. How can the viewers reach out to you, get your book, and support you?
So you can follow me on Instagram at JoniquaTheGenie.com. That's JoniQua The Genie, like Genie from Aladdin. You can order my book. I'm a self-published author, black-owned business. You can only buy it from my website, joniquathegenie.com, Joniqua, thegenie.com. So yeah, that's how you can support me. Just share my content. Really a lot of encouraging words too. People don't understand. I be reading them comments. I need to hear that because I don't have family. I'm a black sheep, so I don't have an auntie that saw this shit to be like, you right, baby. I don't have that. They fucking ice me out. Like I'm wrong for standing up against wrongdoing. So when I see them comments saying you're doing the right thing, you're doing this, I need to hear that. That keeps me going.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow. You know what? Well, you have a family here.
Thank you.
You have a family here. You have a support system here. We'll do whatever we can our end to make sure that your message is resonated by keeping your voice heard. You are definitely making a difference. You guys make sure you reach out, support, click that button. Sometimes all it takes is a click to make a difference in your life or somebody else's life. We're going to have you come back. We're going to keep in contact to make sure you know you're doing all right, and whatever resources we got on our end, we're connecting and see what we can do working together as a team, because that's what we all need to do. We need to learn to work together. So instead of you guys commenting, like she said, things on her thing, be a source. You know, have her reach out to somebody in her neighborhood or something to get the ball rolling so we can change the life in the way that this generational nightmare is happening to everybody around the world. And it don't just happen to people of color. It happens all over, and we need to do something about it.
It is. A lot of white women reached out to me. That literally, it happens all over.
Joniqua, thank you so much for coming on the show. Ladies and gentlemen, like I said when I started, this has been another, and I do mean another, exciting episode of the Andre the Beast Crayton Show.